coming to you from my Airbnb somewhere in a hidden location. Huge breaking news. I know why Bryson DeChambeau is not participating in the Duels LIV Golf Miami. There's a lot to this, and it goes deep, and it's more than you think. Let's get right into it. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. We try to give you the latest breaking news. Now, I spoke with somebody at LIV, okay? And I did a podcast on the whole Duels. Then I was asked to take that video down because they wanted to be the ones to break all the news. Fair enough. Now, it's the way it is. It was very clear it was for the podcast, but whatever. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. So, okay, fine. I'll take it down. And we did that. I did ask why Bryson wasn't playing. And we got the answer that I would have speculated that was going to be it anyways. Even if I didn't talk to anybody, I would have said is because he's prepping for Augusta. And he doesn't want anything to come between him and Augusta National and the Masters. That's what I would have guessed. That's what I think any reasonable person would just assume. That's not the reason. The reason he's not participating in the Duels is because he's having a conflict with LIV Golf right now about this. Bryson DeChambeau does not own his YouTube channel. That is owned by LIV Golf. Phil Mickelson's channel also owned by LIV Golf. Now that his channel, Phil's, is called the High Flyers. That's the team. So you could say, okay, that's the team, LIV, whatever channel. Bryson's is called Bryson DeChambeau. And that channel is under the contract, in the contract. Bryson didn't even know this until recently. And he was like, what? You don't own my channel. I own my channel. No, it's owned by LIV. That's craziness. It's crazy that you don't know. Here's how it unfolds. All LIV players are under contract with LIV Golf. And it's essentially this in a nutshell. It's an NIL deal, name, image, likeness. It's this equivalent of, let's say, a quarterback is being recruited out of high school to play for USC, and Texas wants him, Alabama wants him, all these different schools want him. Now they're allowed to pay them NIL contracts, name, image, likeness. So USC says, we'll give you $2 million, and let's say that's the highest offer. So said athlete goes and plays for USC, and they're paid $2 million a year. And USC, they basically have the term, while you're at our school, we get to market your name, image, likeness. All of that is really under our umbrella. Same with LIV. So you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, but we own it. It's our name, image, likeness. And they pay a ton of money so that these golfers come over, obviously to LIV, and help grow the brand. And because you're here, you attract other players and you attract fans. Okay, so all that is under the contract. Now, it's wild that Bryson just didn't know this, or he just found it out. So they're in this battle with each other for the AdSense revenue. Now, I would jokingly said to how I found this out person was this is probably the only revenue stream that's generating any profit for LIV Golf. It's Bryson's YouTube AdSense money. And it might be true. Here's what's also interesting is that I also heard that the Saudis are not happy right now with how much money LIV is losing. They're running running in the red big time. We all know that, but one could say and think that, well, they have unlimited money. That money means absolutely nothing. The interest they make is so much better, more than how much they're spending on LIV. But for people who make a ton of money, they're not carelessly just going to throw money down the drain if they don't have to. They want a return on their investment. So from what I understand and what I've been hearing is that they are not happy losing so much money. I also know this personally, firsthand. I've been reached out to by a number of PR agencies that are responsible for promoting the LIV Golf brand. They reached out to me and said, how much for you to promote LIV on your Instagram? Specifically, they wanted TikTok and Instagram Reels. And I was like, cool, here's what I'm gonna charge. And I never heard from them again, which is fine because YouTube is my main thing and I always redirect people there. But nonetheless, I do know that they are they're going full in on LIV Golf Miami, the first event in the United States this year in Miami. They're rocking the Duels and they're rocking lots of PR money going to tons of creators that they want. So all the creators, I don't know totally 100% that this would be true, but I would say if you see creators making Reels or TikToks at LIV or about LIV, chances are they're being paid. I don't know how much they're actually being paid. I know my number, I never got a call back. And that was fine. I didn't really mind that so much, but I did find it interesting that they're reaching out to a lot of people because they want everybody tuning in LIV Golf Miami and they're going all in. So it's going to be interesting in the future. I'm wondering how much more content will we be seeing on the Bryson DeChambeau YouTube channel. If it's less and less and less, then you know they haven't worked out any agreement or arrangement for his content. So in this arrangement, think of it as you have a business partner, you two start a business together, then you split up, or like a marriage, that happens, you split up. Whatever money you made during that time is split, whatever the rules are in your area. But let's say it's 50-50. So in this case, LIV might have 100% of it. And they would, whatever it is, they own that. So whatever AdSense revenue Bryson's channel is currently generating, even if he stops, he doesn't have to create content, he could stop. Well, that content, while he's under contract with LIV, they would always get that AdSense revenue until whatever arrangement they come to. Now, when Bryson's contract is up, he can renegotiate this and adjust it in any way he wants, or he could leave. And I'm hearing that there's going to be an exodus from LIV back to the PGA Tour. That could very well happen. This is all happening quickly because LIV moves fast. The Duels are going to be an interesting thing coming out on Saturday. They're playing it Thursday, and they're going to edit it all together, and then they're going to launch it on Saturday, which is going to be great because it's going to be an edited bit of content. But Bryson's not part of it because, well, he's not probably going to be too much of a willing participant in anything social media they do until this either gets worked out or he's no longer part of LIV. That we don't know what's going to happen in the future. I am also curious what's going to happen because we've got Creator Classics on the PGA Tour. We've got the LIV Duels event for $250,000. They're going to share with us how they're going to distribute that money themselves. So we got to wait on that. So you know exactly, but we know it's $250,000 prize pool that they're playing for in some capacity. Also, we know Bryson's not in currently because of whatever is happening with his arrangement. But it's interesting because all these creators, most of them were on the Creator Classic with the PGA Tour. Now they're on the LIV Duels. We know the queue at Myrtle Beach was just announced a lot of players. So a lot of those players that are playing in the duels are in that queue at Myrtle Beach. So that'll be interesting. What about the next Creator Classic? What about the next LIV event? Is it going to be the same group of creators? You tell me, we don't know. I think these are the most popular group of creators. So the PGA Tour would probably be in their best interest, I would imagine, to keep going with what's working with them. There's no problem there. Who cares if LIV's using them? There was a rumor that PGA Tour is pushing back on the creators that went over there and possibly not let them in. Who knows what's true and what's not true in that regard. We will know based on the next Creator Classic and the next LIV Duels. But for now, they're taking the top creators that are generating tons of views and they're including them in their event. I also jokingly said, well, if this Duels is more popular than the LIV event, LIV could become the tour for creators and not pros. And all the pros bounce back to the PGA Tour and LIV is just a creator league. That would be interesting. And I don't think it's out of the realm of, it's fantasy, but everything's a fantasy until it's a reality. So you just don't know what's going to unfold. All we know is that, shockingly, Bryson's channel isn't so much of Bryson's channel as we thought it was. So let me know your thoughts about everything down below. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for the latest and greatest of breaking news. See you soon.